I'll spend a better part of my life promoting heritage and culture. And in my travel around the world, I've seen that the old town or the oldest part of cities generate a lot of income. But unfortunately, when I look at the old town of Mombasa, which is actually the umbilical cord of Kenya, everything in Kenya started in the old town of Mombasa. If we take a trip here and go and look at the old town of Zanzibar, the stone town of Zanzibar, it makes millions, millions and millions. Your Excellency, I'm using this opportunity to plead to you that the Old Town of Mombasa, we need to have an Old Town Planning Commission that will plan the Old Town and make it like the old city, let's say of Rome or Zanzibar, such that the government can be able to make like 5 billion just from the Old Town. Right now, it is the way it is. That is one. Two, I've seen for many years the previous administrations, they've been writing off loans for sugarcane, coffee, tea. We come from the coast. Huyu mvuvi akiharibikiwa, mbona hatusikii serikali yetu ikisema chukua hii pole? Kwani sisi pia tunalipa tax? Kwa hivyo hili mimi linanihuzunisha sana. Kwa shauri, just like other Kenyans wakiharibikiwa, the other time tulikuwa tunaona 500 inapatiwa watu wa miraa. Sisi shamba letu ni Indian Ocean. Asante sana.
Asante sana mzee Alawi. Nakubaliana na wewe ya kwamba we can monetize our heritage. Nakubaliana na wewe kabisa ya kwamba heritage yetu kama ni pale Old Town and all the other heritage is something that we can monetize, and I'm sure my good friend Hersi, who is in the tourism sector, agrees that apart from our beaches, apart from our wildlife, there is more around culture, around food, around, what makes Kenya what it is, that we can package to be able to get more tourists into Kenya. And I couldn't agree with you more. And I would want to maybe, as I conclude the forming of government, I will want to see what is it that we can discuss. How can we come up with a plan around Old Town? How do we incorporate other products? And maybe, Hersi, you will help me there to say something, because you are an expert in that space. But let me, before I ask you to say something there, let me say about blue economy. Alawi, let me tell you very clearly. I am very clear in my mind how important blue economy is to Kenya. Not just to the people of the coast, but to Kenya. Today, we are unlocking about 20 billion shillings from the blue economy. The potential is 5-6 times more. My intention is that in the next 3 years, we should be making between 80 billion and 120 billion shillings from our blue economy resources. And that is why I have done 3 things on the blue economy. Number one, when I came into office, I changed the program that was there in the blue economy. There was a program funded by the World Bank that was focused on putting up buildings, holding seminars, holding workshops. I changed that program and I told our partners, I will not implement this program if it is not going to target what is important for the people of Kenya. Our development partners, and I must thank the World Bank, they agreed with me, and we changed that program. It is the program, Alawi, that brought me here on Friday. On Friday, I was at the showground here. At the showground, we gave out 1.7 billion shillings. Yeah, to 612 groups so that they can change their livelihoods. On Friday, I committed that we are going to buy 25 deep sea fishing boats. Because the boats we have at the moment, the ones we bought for our fishermen, about 120, cannot go very far. You can only go there for an hour or 2 or 3. Now, we're going to buy another 25 deep sea fishing boats that can take a day or 2 into the deep sea to be able to get us the fish that we want for our country. And number 3, for the first time in the history of Kenya, we have licensed an industrial fishing vessel flying the Kenyan flag for the first time that will do industrial fishing, one that can go for 1 month into the deep sea and get us tuna, and get us all the other fish. And by the way, that ship is going to be making about 4 billion shillings into Kenya every year, processing the fish here in Kenya, exporting the fish from here in Kenya. And my intention is to have 10 of those industrial fishing boats, minimum, by 2027. In fact, it is a conversation that I have already had with my friend Joho. And I have told him, this is the minimum I expect of you, God willing, when you are cleared by Parliament. Yeah? So that is what we are doing around the fishing space. We are putting the highest resources ever put in fishing and in the blue economy that any administration has put in that economy. So we are building 11 fish landing boats in Lake Victoria. We are building 5 fish landing ports here in sites here in the coast. We are putting one in Moepe, down in Kwale. We are putting one here in Mombasa. We are putting another one in Kilifi. We are putting one more in Lamu, and we are putting one in Kipini in Tana River. I have also put in resources to build the first national mariculture resource and training center so that we can equip our fishermen and women and people working in that space with the relevant skills and competences. We have trained 6,202 coxswains to be able to unlock the potential in our fishing space. I was in Kwale yesterday. We are building a 2.6 billion fishing port in Shimoni. So you agree with me, Alawi, that we are investing in the blue economy and we are not shortchanging the people of this region or shortchanging our blue economy ecosystem. Let me ask this good brother, maybe just to help me, my good friend Hersi. You want to say something about that space my good friend Alawi was saying?
Thank you, Your Excellency, and welcome to Mombasa. You know, it's said that government world over, they're not very good in telling their story. And when they attempt to tell their story, people also don't believe them. So we are honored that you've invited us to address and to answer, in fact, no censored questions, which to me is a great thing. And it just described the democracy we enjoy in this country, which we don't take for granted. So thank you very much, Your Excellency. You know, I sleep, I dream tourism. And you're very passionate about creating jobs and employment for young men and women. Tourism is the easiest vehicle available to you and to your government in creating employment for our people. Kenyans are overall warm and friendly people. The other day I said, while other countries struggle with attitude issues, Kenyans, you don't have to teach them how to smile. It's natural. Kenyans and Swahili language is the only language that puts a foreigner and a guest on the same pedestal, and we call them wageni. We treat them well. We are looking at 2.5 million arrivals this year. And we struggled for a long time, Your Excellency, to hit even 2 million. Where I sit, and with my colleagues here, there is no reason why we cannot hit 3.5 million. We don't hit 4.5 million. And by the time we're hitting 2027, there's no reason why we should not even hit 5 million. No doubt. But Your Excellency, for us to do that, there are a few things that we need to do. And we call it the low-hanging fruits. No sweat. Very easy things. Number one is accessibility to our country. You know, international tourism, for them to get here, Kenya is considered a long-haul destination. Anything above 5 hours is a long haul. Morocco, Algeria, Egypt are considered short haul, which is 4-5 hours. Kenya and South Africa are sub-Saharan, so we hit 8 hours and above. Now, coming to air connectivity is a big challenge. But I must also commend our national carrier. I'm one of the critics of our national carrier. But let me also tell you, Your Excellency, the day we don't have a national carrier is the day we will be spending transit time in Dubai for 11 hours. Ethiopia will be holding us for 14 hours to connect to another country. But as long as they know we have an airline, they'll never mistreat us. And one thing also we don't know is that our national carrier, despite all its challenges, is the biggest source of passengers into Kenya. 60% of the people coming to Kenya actually come aboard KQ. In a single day, they have between 110 and 130 flights daily. All the rest put together don't even hit 45%. Now that takes me, before I come to the open skies, Your Excellency, please address the issues bedeviling our national carrier. We've been bailing them out year in, year out. But there are some fundamentals that need to be sorted out. As a national carrier, they are not given priority at our airports, both JKA and Moi International. When you go to Ethiopia, Ethiopian Airlines is given red carpet. BA is given red carpet at Heathrow, but KQ does not get that. Coming to open skies, and specifically for Mombasa, and we've been fighting for a long time, Your Excellency. 2007, 2008, we were getting 42 charters a week, but the charter business is dying. We now need to replace them with scheduled flights. The likes of Turkish, the like of Qatar were flying into Mombasa, but after COVID, they were denied the license. And we are told we are trying to protect our national carrier. If Kenya Airways was flying to Istanbul, we will not be asking for flights to Istanbul, Your Excellency. When you take an airline like Turkish Airlines, it's going to connect Mombasa to 18 cities in Germany alone. You take an airline like Qatar, it's going to take us to over 125 cities globally. That is direct to Mombasa. And we appreciate that you approved Fly Dubai to come into Mombasa. And that is one key thing that we need to do. Next is tourism investors. Your Excellency, good news is we have a lot of people who are willing to come and invest in Kenya today. Beach hotels.